What is your thank god it was just a dream moment? My dream started with me waking up from coma and discovering that I have been in coma for 8 years. My parents were dead. My brother was dead. My friends weren't there anymore. I was all alone, realizing that I have nobody in my life and that best years of my life have been wasted. This dream was different from my other dreams. This dream felt very real and realistic. Usually I can control my dreams, but I was powerless in this one. The feeling of panic, hopelessness and sadness was so strong that I killed myself. And that is when I woke up. Although I was panicking a little bit afterwards and feeling that this actually happened, I was very relieved that I woke up. Whoa, that's intense. Glad you noped out of that timeline. I'm glad that I got out of there too. That was one of my biggest fears, and since it was so realistic it really felt like a nightmare that came to life. I recently had a dream that my dog died. My sister came up to me and just told me I had no recollection of him dying, and in that moment she told me I had to do my best to hold back tears. I was so confused during the dream because the news just blindsided me. The next morning, I woke up and saw him sitting in his little bed. It was quite the scare. This dream happens to me a lot. Also with dreams that my pets have escaped. They absolutely suck. But nothing hits as painfully as dreaming about a pet that passed away. I've had multiple dreams about my old cat being revived, somehow coming back, or just being alive in general. They feel so real. But then I wake up and she's not there. The dreams of pets that are gone always hit you in the feels, man. While it's happy to see the animal again, it's also a kick in the pants to wake up and know it's not true. I fell off a cliff and died. For some reason I didn't wake up. My dream even had a small funeral service scene for me. Well, that's nice. That I was pregnant. I'm a guy, but it felt so realistic. As a pregnant lady, last night I had a dream that my baby kicked so hard I had baby legs sticking out of my stomach from a huge hole. It'll trade, yeah. Excuse me, what the duck? Had one just this morning. In the dream, I discovered my husband ducking my mom. I've had that dream a few times before, and it didn't make any sense to me. It would never happen, but I realized that it usually occurred after days where I thought about her too much and remembered ways she used to purposely try and ruin my friendships and other relationships. I guess my husband ducking my mom is just the most extreme version of that my scumbag dreaming brain can come up with. That Motherfucker, Moffa speed ducking. Going to school naked. Nice cock, bro. Wait, how is any of this a bad thing? My dick fell out and I was like, shit. Then I woke up. My fly once unzipped itself in the middle of a speech. Needless to say, everybody was laughing. I didn't know why. It is quite humorous to see a penis but smaller. Falling through an infinite abyss. Not the worst dream, but interesting. Dreamt that my estranged stepbrother raped me while holding a knife inside my mouth. As he finished raping me, he stabbed me through the back of my throat. I felt it and heard the crunch. Then woke up. Most ducked up dream I've ever had. Well, shit. I had a similar dream about my father, who had never done anything of the sort. Glad to know I'm not the only one. The real most ducked up dream I ever had was when I fell from a 30-foot ladder and then spent 10 minutes in dream slowly dying, looking at my ribs sticking out of my chest. I've had plenty of horrific death dreams, but that's the only one that really dragged out the suffering. In my dream, my dad was seductively putting his hands around my neck. The gross parted, they felt like his actual hands, and I got the sensation that I was smelling his cologne too. Gross. Wet dream, gay sex with a coworker. I'm not gay yet. Sometimes you just have to find the right person who makes you question your sexuality. I myself have caused many women to find out they're lesbians. Just this morning I dreamt that I cut my hair after growing it for over 10 years. Holy shit. I had the same dream last night. I recently decided to grow out my hair. Last night I dreamed I picked up a pair of scissors and awkwardly chopped half of it into a mullet for no reason. I was very relieved to wake up and discover that my hair was all still there. I recently decided to grow out my hair. We all recently decided to do this. We are all considering awkwardly chopping it off. So in real life, my kittens have ringworm, and we put them in quarantine. But it already passed to my dog, my sister, and my mom. For now, me and my dad are safe. In my dream, however, thought I was safe until I turned my head and saw a huge mushroom growing on my shoulder. Ringworm is a fungus. My parents told me not to cut it off, but I accidentally brushed it off and it fell into the sink, but it morphed into a weird heart looking thing and it started beating like one. Then I woke up and am still pretty sure I'm ringworm free. You definitely just got voodoo cursed. I had a dream once fairly recently that I was at my aunt's house and all my family was there. I kept saying we need to wait for X, my husband, and everyone kept giving me weird looks till they finally sat me down and said X doesn't exist, has never existed. Yeah, still with abusive X. I've never been more happy to wake up from a nightmare, and I often have night terrors involving the traumas I've already been through. I have so many nightmares regarding my abusive X. They usually start with him just being in my house again, and it's evident that he's living there. And then a small argument ensues, and shit starts to hit the fan and I start to freak out and think, oh god, how could you let him back in? You know what he's done. He will do it again. He won't change. Why did you let this happen? And I wake up in an absolute panic. I hate those dreams. Basically any time that I experience sleep paralysis. Happens to me a lot. Try focusing on wiggling your toes as soon as possible. Seems to help me the most. If I realize it's happening soon enough, wiggling my toes can get me out of the experience before the creepy lady comes out. Is it bad that I kind of want to experience that? When I was a kid, I would pretend that there was a ghost or fairy or sprite or something and call out to it hoping for a response. I used to beg, especially when I suddenly felt fearful that I was being watched in the dark, for a demon slash ghost slash angel slash anything to reveal itself to me, just so I could know there was more to the world. I would bargain that if they let me see them, they could have my life slash soul. I don't really remember why I was so obsessed with it though. For the past 3 weeks, I've been having these nightmares where I'm back in school, all alone. Unable to find my classes, failing my classes, missing the bus, and my bullies being much worse. I was bullied a lot when I was in school. I have sworn that I would never go to a brick and mortar school again after I graduated high school. One morning, I woke up, worried that I forgot my science homework. 5 minutes later, I realized I don't go to school anymore. That was a relief. One morning, I woke up, worried that I forgot my science homework. 5 minutes later, I realized I don't go to school anymore. That was a relief. I did this once. Woke up one morning, realizing I didn't do some homework assignment. I think English. Then I realized it was a Sunday morning. Then I realized I no longer went to school, hadn't been in over 20 years. Funny how we age, but our concept of self doesn't. I dreamed that I had a class in college that I had forgotten that I signed up for and missed like half the class before I remembered. I hate that dream so much. Also, relevant xkcd link com/557/. Oh, I've had this dream. Yesterday I dreamt I met myself. He wanted me to guess the song that was playing. I guessed correctly, but he told me no, and I believed the ducker. Trust nobody, not even yourself. Using him 5 years sober, and in times of great stress, I will occasionally have dreams where I fall off the wagon. It takes days to shake off the shame of it. Days. I have to tell myself over and over that it didn't actually happen. That I didn't actually let myself and my family down. That I'm not a failure. Sigh. 5 years is amazing. Well done. I dreamt my father died. Shit was so vivid I was physically affected for the next half hour or so after waking up. Well, my dad is a healthy man in his 50s, so all is good. Same, but it was my mum. Woke up crying at 4 AM and cried for half an hour after. Really wanted to ring her, but it was too early. So the vid and the emotions stayed with me, even though I knew it was a dream. Spoke to her later that day and she was fine. Couldn't bring myself to tell her what I dreamt though. I dreamed that my mom called me and said that my dad killed a person with a car in Sweden and that he's going to be in prison for the rest of his life. I live in Lithuania. I was arrested for some reason I don't remember, and the officer had just taken me out of the car and was about to walk me into the station. My hands were cuffed behind my back, and he kept roughing me up for no reason, smacking me on the head. Stuff like that. It got worse and worse, and I started getting really mad. Eventually I snapped, and with my hands still bound, I charged him. He fell back and hit his head against the station's brick wall. He fell down to the ground and was completely motionless. Immediately I freaked out, oh my god, he's dead. I'm a cop killer. I'm gonna get executed. The panic woke me up, and it wasn't just a feeling of relief, but like that I got away with it. This might sound really weird, but I had the exact same dream, except the reason I got arrested in my dream was for stealing a Red Bull. Heresy. He stole a Red Bull. Hey, thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more daily Reddit videos.